June of 1914 as the New York Central has come into the world of railroading. We're here in Coldwater, Michigan as we get to witness New York Central engine number 110 make its maiden voyage. She will be making frequent stops along the branch line before turning around at Montpelier.
Okay, it's not June of 1914, and this isn't the New York Central, but it's close. It's actually June 16th, 2024, and we are here at the Little River Railroad, which sits on the Indiana Northeastern Railroad. Today is Father's Day, and we'll be chasing the Father's Day steam excursion to Quincy and back. Father's Day occurs on the third Sunday of June, where most of everyone is at church. It's often where Father's Day is honored, but in my case, I'm thinking trains, as we take a visit down in Coldwater, Michigan on a two-parter day trip. It's a blazing hot June 16th, 2024, and we're here in Coldwater, Michigan at the Little River Railroad, which sits on the Indiana Northeastern Railroad. Today, temperatures are going to be reaching around 90 degrees with a high UV ray index as well as a high heat index. But that wasn't about to stop me from chasing the steam excursion. Yet while most of everyone is heading to church this Father's Day, I'm out here on the high iron chasing some steam. During the trip to Quincy, we won't be seeing many rail fans, as most of which will most likely be at church. Passenger Depot in Coldwater houses a museum of not only railroad artifacts, but a ticket office, a model train layout, and some history about how it became what we see today. If that's not enough, check out this original control hub taken off an actual diesel train. This was actually once part of an EMD GP9 before it was pulled out and scrapped. Unlike the local controls of today's EMDs, the reverser was actually the selector in this case. This was completely different of what I saw. There are 4 positions on the selector, and they are off, SW, service, and auto. I'm just taking a wild guess at this here, but service must mean forward, auto must mean train brake, and off must just mean off. The SW selection was something I don't know much of, but I'm guessing it means reverse. But correct me if I'm wrong if you know about this setup. Just behind me is a table that has some artifacts that you can actually touch, and I took a shot at taking apart a pair of air hoses. When I saw them in front of a TV screen, I thought they looked heavy to handle. Turns out, looks can be deceiving. Above us is a model train layout that's set on a timer, but one of them was under construction when I was there at the time. Also in the depot was how this part of the railroad was once part of the New York Central. If I knew I was going to be walking on former NYC railroad grounds, I would have worn my National New York Central Railroad Museum hat. Now let's head outside to see how things are going. Here we see Little River Railroad engine number 110 prepping for the Father's Day steam excursion to Quincy. Seeing how I'm rail fanning on a Sunday, I just love the smell of smoke and the sound of a steam train whistle in the morning. The train cars are parked on separate tracks, so 110 couples up to the train cars on the main track and moves them to the side track. Now that it's done, 110 runs around to the front of the train and couples up.
You got wet? No.
Where you going, buddy?
Hey, show them where the toy trains are around the corner. Around the corner. You're right. Oh no, damn it. You're right. There's a... Oh yeah. That's exactly right.
From there, with the help of the conductor, 110 backs up to the main, pulls up to the station, and waits there until it's time to go. Before we go to Quincy, let's take a look at Little River Railroad engine number 110. Built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in 1911, Little River 110 is a small 462 Pacific type locomotive. It once ran for the actual Little River Railroad in Tennessee hauling logs. It was sold later on in the 1940s until being officially retired sometime in the 1950s. Engine 110 was soon restored later on down the line and was acquired by the new Little River Railroad in Coldwater, as it returned to service in 1975. Today, 110 hauls passengers on steam excursions from Coldwater to Quincy and sometimes to Hillsdale.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding at this time. Now boarding.
It's around 10:30 a.m. and the conductor has announced the boarding of the 11 o'clock ride to Quincy. At 11:05, we'll be taking off to chase the Father's Day steam excursion to Quincy, starting with a drive-by shot on East Park Ave. A great yet risky shot to say the least. Don't worry, I had my camera on a tripod which was tied down by a seatbelt. Heading east out of Coldwater, it's an easy run to Quincy. As the US 12 crossing deactivated, the traffic came roaring through, which delayed my time to beat the train to the turning point. Just arriving at Quincy, the train was already at the turning point, and I was lucky enough to catch the train being turned around. The passengers will be in Quincy for 20 minutes and will be back on the train heading back to Coldwater. Note the sound of my chase vehicle as I turned off the engine to save gas and lock it. On this side of the track, we can see the train being oiled up for the return trip to Coldwater. We're back on the road as 110 makes the return trip to Coldwater. As we made it back to Coldwater, we got there just in time to see the Father's Day steam excursion arriving. As the passengers disembark the train, this marks the end of the late morning Father's Day steam excursion. We'll be riding the 2 o'clock excursion to Quincy later on. For now, at the Little River Railroad Depot in Coldwater, this is the Great Lakes Railroader, out.
You want to get